Are you tired of searching for buyers abroad for your agro-commodities? Well, now you have the power to do it yourself. Introducing the Eureka Pack, your ultimate solution for finding buyers abroad for your products. No more relying on others to help you connect with buyers for your manufactured goods or your authentic African foods. With the Eureka Pack, you can take control of your business. The Eureka Pack is a practical guide designed for both current and aspiring exporters, providing you with invaluable insights on how to attract buyers abroad. Just imagine all the information and strategies you need to succeed in the global market, conveniently packaged in one powerful resource. So, you must be wondering, how do you get your hands on the Eureka Pack? It's simple. Visit our website at www.3timpexglobal.com or call 0809 124 4449. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Get the Eureka Pack today and take your business to new heights. The Eureka Pack, empowering exporters to reach buyers worldwide.
You are retiring. Are you an employee looking forward to retirement? Are you an agro-processor, a farmer, and a manufacturer of different items in Nigeria? Do you desire to earn foreign exchange in euro, dollars, and pounds? Are you interested in expanding your market beyond the shore of Nigeria? Are you looking for how to start doing export business? Do you have an order and looking for how to go about exporting your product abroad? Then I have great news for you. 3T Impex Trade Academy, in conjunction with American Institute of Extended Studies, brings to you from export novice to export legend. This is an export mentoring program that helps you step by step until you achieve your goal of doing a successful and sustainable export business. New enrollment is currently ongoing. The program costs $1,250 and there are flexible payment plans to fit your budget. Enroll today.
Are you struggling to find buyers abroad for your products or services? If so, this video is a game changer. In our pack, How to Find Buyers Abroad, we tackle these challenges by providing you with proven strategies to overcome limited reach, insider tips to establish valuable connections, and practical techniques to attract paying buyers from abroad. Now the gist. This pack currently goes for 60,000 naira. What is that? See, this is the only guide you need to attract paying buyers from abroad. Whether you're an importer looking for forex, an exporter or banker looking for export customers, and agro-processors, SMEs, manufacturers, and other businesses that want to sell abroad. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Call 08091244449 or visit www.3timpexglobal.com to place your order. Are you
You're a professional or a businessman. Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You desire to know what you need to do to get ready to go global? Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Built to Go Global. It's scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order at 33% discount, call 080-912-44449. Are you a professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You deserve to know what you need to do to get ready to go global. Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Built to Go Global. It's scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order at 33% discount, call 080-912-44449.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining today. We are rounding off the series we started discussing on ICT as leveraging ICT rather for export market access. Today we'll be talking about export business problem in general, but this time around I'll be focusing on Nigeria or Africa, as it were, Nigeria in particular, considering the fact that the study I'm going to be going through today was carried out in Nigeria last year, just highlighting some of the challenges, particularly with funding and shipment itself, and importance of readiness. In fact, the fact that those challenges exist is the reason why a business must be ready, because then it becomes easier to overcome those challenges as a business. Remember, our YouTube channel is Voice of African Trade. Subscribe, like, share, and remember to drop your comment. African Export Business Platform is a platform on Telegram where the link to this program is dropped every week. You can do well to check them out, so you can be able to know when we get the link directly whenever we need to come online, particularly every Thursday. And on Friday, 5 p.m. every Friday, we have Export Discuss, basically discussing different issues around export. If you have questions, that's a good time to ask any kind of question. Trade related, it can also be import, but mainly focusing on export, and you can be sure you will get answer to that question. If you are yet to get the pack, the Eureka pack, how to find buyer abroad, currently selling, and with amazing feedback from those that bought it. This is a pack that does 5 things for you. Number 1, help it locate where the buyers are. Number 2, help you to locate who are those buying in that country. Number 3, help you to be able to get the contact detail of those people. Number 4, show you how to convert the contact to contract and how to eventually do a successful export transaction and sign a favorable export contract. It helps you to prepare how to get foreign buyers, the do's and don'ts in sourcing for buyers, how to leverage on technology for export market access, 10 different options to get buyer abroad, how to convert foreign buyers contact to contract, proven strategy for sourcing buyer abroad, practical steps to get buyer abroad. All right. So it was a survey that was done last year, annual trade survey, stimulating export trade finance in Nigeria. And so what I'll be talking about now basically summarizes that survey. The objective was to identify challenges of export business, to know the level of export trade finance rejection, to understand the reason for export trade finance rejection, to understand the features that characterize approved export trade finance requests, to identify the challenges faced by exporters in getting export trade finance and requests to get approved requests And then, of course, recommending ways of addressing these challenges. Now, one very important point in that study was that a good chunk, not majority, but a good number of the exporters were also into import. In that survey, 65% only export. But 35% does not just export, they also import. And this is a necessity in a country like Nigeria, where you have challenge getting FX. Any business sitting down waiting for CBN to provide FX, we wait for a very long time. We wait for a very long time. And that was exactly the case of many. That has been exactly the case of many, rather. And that's why I'm not surprised when we notice in the survey that some of the people who are exporting, who are importing, are now into export to generate their forex. Another very interesting thing about the study was that majority of, more than half, about half of exporters in Nigeria were new, under 5 years. Under 5 years. 18% were already above 16 years, 16 years and above. Make a lot of sense? But you know what? Majority are new. These have been attributed to, number one, high level of, the reason why the older one are not much, high level of dropout, exporting. Doing business in Nigeria is challenging. Adding a layer of complexity to it by virtue of export business make it more challenging. So 48% under 5 years. The fact that a lot of new people are also coming in as a result of foreign exchange challenges, looking for forex. IT companies are now exporting. Not just importers, importers of services, not just importers of goods are now exporting. So you can see the fact that many businesses are trying to come in, and the government agency in charge confirmed this. NEPC confirmed that a number of people registered to be exporter last year. Another interesting thing is that majority of export from Nigeria reside in the Southwest. I mean, the businesses, even though they might be sourcing from the North, South, East, West, but their base, where they operate from, is the Southwest. North Central and Northwest follow suit. Then South, even though South have port, but it's just 11% because the port are mainly for crude oil. So just 11%. Just 11%. South, Southeast, and Northeast are really very, very low. It's also observed that the small businesses or businesses doing small volume transactions are the ones that are more. And if you check really, so you notice from here, about those that do more than $100,000 per annum are just 11% and above. And by the way, for this study, you actually have more than 200 exporters that are sampled. And there are less than 3,000 exporters in Nigeria, about 3,000 plus, and only about 1,000 plus exported last year. Now, look at this. Category of product to be exported or being exported. Category of product being exported. Very important. Agro commodity, processed agro, 69%, about 70% of export are in their Greek space. Unfortunately, we are not yet doing a lot in terms of value addition, just 11%, but it's important to say that majority of exporters are into agro export. Majority of the exporters are into agro export. And that's instructive because it just also reflects the nature of how, what constitutes the major export of Nigerian businesses. Now, exporters were asked, and this is important because it shows that there's a big knowledge gap and challenge that businesses face, and the businesses going to export, and they export the bank to support. So here are some of the feedback on export support services that attract exporters to any bank. Export support services that attract exporters to any bank. 59% of exporters are attracted to a bank based on export support services that involve assisting the customer in export market access, provision of trade information, export seminars, and other relevant export support service. 17% of the exporters will do business with a bank if the bank can assist them with export market access. 11% of exporters will do business with a bank if the bank can assist them with export trade information. 11% of exporters will do business with a bank if the bank can assist them with export trade documentation, and 12% will do business with a bank if they have speedy processing of trade transactions. I want you to look at something here. Look at this. Can you see 17%, 14%, 13% market access, support services? So we've told many banks that care to listing, you need to attract exporters, you need to be able to render support service. Why are exporters asking for this? Remember, today we're talking about problems and challenges of exporters. It's because of capacity, because of knowledge gap, because of the challenging business environment. So particularly, not just SME, even other businesses who are funding, they really are big, but they want to come into export, they also need this kind of services. Now, look at the major challenge or challenges that exporters confirm they are faced with. 26% of the exporters stated that port logistics is the major challenge that they have faced or they are facing in carrying out export transaction. Logistics, port logistics, major challenge they are faced with is logistics, port logistics. This is a major challenge and a major concern of the exporters. This is a major challenge and a major concern of the exporter. For obvious reasons, the roads are bad, particularly access roads to the port in Nigeria is really nothing to write home about. 20% says that sees inadequate access to financing as a major challenge that confront them. Inadequate finance. So they want to export, they need a lot of money, they're not able to get it. And I will show you some it was shocking to me also when we saw it, statistics. Very, very shocking statistics of the level of delay before an average exporter gets his loan request approved. The delay sometimes is very high. Sometimes up to 6 months. 11% of exporters complain that delay caused by Nigerian custom and other government agency are a major challenge. I'm a first and experience. I've experienced this firsthand. Sometimes the person on the desk is not around, and everybody that needs export clearance through that desk, we have to wait. Even if he has gone home, you come back tomorrow. Or if he's sick, sometimes no other person. Can you imagine? It's amazing. But sometimes when you see some of these issues, you just wonder if indeed we are really serious. The last one has been sorted with the new administration, the exchange rate differential. It was a big challenge. I remember we had an event and we're asking the governor of CBN, ex-governor of CBN, about this issue. The fact that at that time was 415, at 415, it wasn't profitable for exporter. And his response was, if export is not profitable, do something else. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Do something else. It was like, must you do export? So those that this is the only business they've known and they've done it for many years, they should stop. Of course, that was why people were not repatriating, and CBN had to find a way to encourage repatriation through the RT 200 incentive. Through the RT 200 incentive of the CBN. But now, these have been sorted out. You really don't have to worry about this again. You can get the real value for your effort, depending on you and what you want. It's no more, this is no more a problem for you as a business in Nigeria, because that has been sorted out with the managed float exchange rate of Nigeria that we currently practice. Major challenges: port logistics, access to finance, custom, and government agency. Do you notice something? If you can take care, we have taken care of exchange rate. If you take care of ports and custom, which government can do, we will only be left with financing. And if you take care of financing, we will have solved about 46, 57, almost 70% of problem of exporter. Exchange rate I'm taking care of. So what is left? Delay. Automate the process. Automate the process. Automate. Automate the process. If you can just automate the process. If I want to clear good for export, the only time we should see physically is when my custom is taking my goods. All that documentation after NSP have been processed, next fee paid, and clearing through NDLA, SSS approval should be online, so that if anybody is delayed, we will know the person that it is pending with, and there can be a trail in the system to monitor who is sabotaging the progress of export in Nigeria. We can fix that custom and government agency if you automate the process. Financing. If the government can just incentivize the bank by giving credit insurance, reduce the requirement for giving credit guarantee. After all, people are stealing billions in Nigeria. So why can't government use billions to shield its businesses from losing money abroad? Encourage the bank to fund and support Nexim to give export credit insurance. To give export credit insurance. I was talking to someone about the new administration. Whoever wins, either in court or both, whoever is there now and whoever wins at the court eventually, if we are going to grow export, the president must mandate his ambassador to have a target of how much businesses they are going to bring to Nigeria, either in form of FDI or in form of export transaction. That they should have a KPI to keep their job. Else, they are on their own. So that they will not be because Nigerian ambassador, I have a first-hand experience in Cote d'Ivoire, how Nigerian embassy in Cote d'Ivoire sabotaged a trade mission in Cote d'Ivoire because they had issue with the organizer. They had issue with the organizers. And these are Nigerians. Because you had issue with someone, all the other businesses that come must suffer. Whereas they're supposed to be facilitating, they were inhibiting. I'll go on a short break. When I come back, then we'll continue with the other challenges of export business in Nigeria.
Are you struggling to find buyers abroad for your products or services? If so, this video is a game changer. In our pack, How to Find Buyers Abroad, we tackle these challenges by providing you with proven strategies to overcome limited reach, insider tips to establish valuable connections, and practical techniques to attract paying buyers from abroad. Now the gist. This pack currently goes for 60,000 naira. What is that? See, this is the only guide you need to attract paying buyers from abroad. Whether you're an importer looking for forex, an exporter or banker looking for export customers, and agri-processors, SMEs, manufacturers, and other businesses that want to sell abroad. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Call 080-9124-4449 or visit www.3timpesglobal.com to place your order.
If you are not if you are an exporter or you intend to go into export, and this product is a response to the major challenge many businesses face, which is looking for buyers. So these are the solved once and for all. You don't need to depend on someone to look for buyer. Rather, you can do it yourself. The pack comes with about 27 videos and 2 manuals. The videos explaining and demonstrating to intending and existing exporter how to find buyer. Some people say they are on different platforms, but they are not able to get buyer even though they are on those platforms. And the reason is because they are not obeying the protocol they need to follow in finding buyers. The protocol they need to follow in finding buyers. If they are able to obey and follow those protocols, which Eureka Pack review, then of course they will be able to easily find buyers. This pack saves them time, secure buyer abroad by yourself, save cost of searching, save time for searching, save energy for searching, and get the ability to serve multiple buyers. Now, we have export discourse every Friday. If you have questions on export, both on previous episodes or in general, in different areas of export, I'm sure we'll be able to throw more light for you during the Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and TikTok Live that we do every Friday by 5 p.m. So now, another challenge, financing, rejection of financing. Rejection of financing requests. Number one, the exporters. Remember, we sample over 200 exporters. 94% of exporters claim that they have experienced rejection. 94% confirm that they have experienced rejection. Now, they have experienced rejection means they put in the application, bank rejected. Some of them eventually got it, but at least they experienced it. 81% of rejected final requests are pre-export. So we found out that there are more demand for pre-export financing. The banks do not really have so much request for post-export. They tend to have more requests for pre-export financing. 20% of exporters have experienced rejection of export finance request for more than one bank, rather. 42% rejected export finance requests without any reason. 21% of export finance request rejection are rejected because of inadequate collateral. You know, we've done a couple of training for banks and we've talked about this issue of collateral. The need to look for collateral within the transaction, or rather, secure the transaction within transaction. And you know, I've worked with a couple of business and financing institutions in Nigeria who are financing exporters and are able, they're financing exporters and they are able to do without tangible collateral. If you remember in Nigeria, before now, before the fintech came in and started giving loan, and some of them experiencing less than 1% non-performing loan, banks believe that consumer loans, SME loans, is too risky because they've not designed a system to separate the credible one from the ones that are not really very creditworthy. But the fintech came in, designed a system that does that, and they are able to lend today. Banks will send you a message to come and take a loan without collateral based on your credit history or based on the account or the detail of your account. And that is happening in the export sector. At least I know 2 organizations doing that in Nigeria who are not financial institutions, but supporting export businesses, and they are able to do without the tangible collateral. 94% have experienced rejection. Majority of finance requests are pre-export. Majority of rejected finance, a lot of them are post and some are pre, but majority of requests the bank gets are pre and the one they finance. Look at the reasons: collateral, inadequate documentation, small size of the business. Some even say they are not interested. This was before COVID. This was the experience even after COVID until RT200 was launched. Some banks were not interested because they're asking themselves, they're making money in another area. Why should they worry themselves about export? Until the need for FX became very serious. And then look at this number of banks that rejected the same export finance request. Now, this speaks to the need for the exporter themselves to prepare adequately. Look at this. Can you imagine that 62% of the exporters says they had rejection from more than 3 banks? If you have them from 3 banks for the same transaction, most likely the exporter is the one that has the issue. This speaks to the need for capacity building for the exporter themselves. The need for capacity building for the exporter, which is why a number of exporters will tell you they need banks that will support them. Not just give financing, but support them in other areas, particularly in even being able to present a bankable export finance request, a request that the bank will find it easy to finance, not the one that they reject. Before we close, let's look at the approved export financing. 11% of exporters said they have received approval for their request. All the approved export finance requests were pre-export. I talked about it earlier. 57% of approved export finance requests are letter of credit transaction. 69% of approved export finance requests are open account. 11% of export finance exporters confirm that bankers solicit gratification from them to assist them with getting financing. 35% of the export finance requests were approved after 6 months. 6 months from the date of request. 20% of export finance requests were approved within 1 month. Within 1 month from the date of the request. So like I said, 11% eventually got funding. Remember, 94 had rejection. That means some of those rejections eventually got funding. Now, let me show you this. A number of banks, sometimes you can grandstand all you like, grandstand all you want, and say this is the only way you will finance, even though there are other ways of financing. The usage of letter of credit in the world is declining. The usage of letter of credit in the world is declining. The usage of letter of credit in the world is declining. Because letter of credit is becoming a nuisance to trade transactions. Letter of credit becoming a nuisance to trade transactions. Why is letter of credit becoming a nuisance? It's becoming a nuisance because we're in a fast-paced world. We're in a fast-paced world. And because we're in a fast-paced world, when letter of credit started, the world was very slow. 6-month cycle is okay. But today, letter of credit has not changed in its characteristics of causing delay. Letter of credit is no more a letter of credit is no more facilitating trade. Is being considered by practitioners, not the banks. The banks like it, it protects them. The importer and exporter, they are seeing it as an inhibitor. In fact, it's becoming a nuisance. Why? Let me give you a statistic. According to ICT, for every 10 documents presented in the world, 7 are discrepant. Trade finance experts will tell you the implication of that is that payment will not be made, payment will be delayed, document will have to be corrected or discrepancy accepted. So many back and forth that eventually delay trade transaction. And for commodity people who have a very short window to trade, that is not acceptable. So they've decided to continue to trade the way they want to trade. How do they want to trade? They want to trade with open account, but back up with demand guarantee and standby letter of credit. Banks must rethink the way they do trade financing. With letter of credit usage declining in the world, in 1978, letter of credit usage in the world was about 80%. As of 2014, letter of credit usage has declined to less than 20%. Now, letter of credit usage is less than 10% of trade transactions in the world. By the way, trade volume in the world is about $21.5 trillion. Trade in goods, trade in services, about $6.5 trillion. Total trade, about $28 trillion post-COVID. And just 10% of merchandise trade in goods, or less than 10%, is letter of credit. So banks must begin to rethink, how then do we protect ourselves? You think of guarantee and standby letter of credit. Guarantee and standby letter of credit. We have a book on standby letter of credit made easy and demand guarantee made easy. You can get it on seller, soft copy available on seller, demand guarantee made easy, and standby letter of credit made easy. Now, payment method, 57% of those financing were letter of credit, 57. So a number of banks still, you know, a banker was telling me one day, said, Adele, this is your statistics. Can you imagine? He said, this is your statistics. As if I'm the one that did the study. That said that a letter of credit usage in decline. I don't believe it, though. You know why he said that? Because they are having a lot of letter of credit transactions. And I asked, you know, it's like one-eyed king in the eye of the blind. How much is the trade of Africa in the world? World trade, 21 trillion. African trade, put together, it's not up to 500 billion. It's not up to 500 billion. Netherlands alone is about more than 600 billion. Netherlands, 50 million people. The whole of Africa, Nigeria is 67 as of last year. South Africa about 90 something. Nigeria and South Africa take up 30% of the total trade in Africa. and two of them is about $160 billion. So when we say trade, let us say it's declining. You can't use the $500 billion of Africa or the $67 billion. If you add import and export together in Nigeria, $120 billion, you can't use it to judge the volume of trade transaction in the world. You can't use it to judge because African trade is so small. When you look at the volume of trade transaction in the world. Now, we have the exporter, those that got financing. Did you provide equity? 33% say yes. 67% say they didn't have to provide equity. How about collateral? 35% say no. 65% say yes. So 35% they did provide collateral. The bank used the product as collateral. So that means even in Nigeria, we are now beginning to see the reason, and banks are embracing the need to use these goods itself as collateral. The need to use the good itself as collateral. Duration for approval. This is a big challenge. But there's a good news in this. The fact that 22% of the respondents said they were able to get the loan. That's 20% of those that got the loan. They were able to get the loan within 1 month, meaning it is possible. But another 22% says 4 to 6 months. 8% say 3 months. 30% say 1 month. 35% say 6 months. 6 months. That's a long time. Very, 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 very long time to get the loan approved. Now, these are challenges that businesses face in Nigeria, particularly those operating within the export business environment. And we're hoping that government will walk the talk, because now, it's interesting to know that Nigeria is currently seriously in need of forex. Out of all the options available through which forex come into a country, Nigeria inclusive, do you know that the only one that you have control over as a country, the only one the country have control over is export. That is the only one that the country have control over. For others, look at the others. Foreign portfolio investment. Foreign portfolio investment. Foreign, they call those one hot money. Foreign direct investment. You see those two? Individuals abroad, we have to decide that your country is worthy of investing in. They have to decide and say, yes, your country is worthy of being invested into. If they don't see your country as being worthy, I'm sorry, they are not going to invest. You see, the only one that you have control, the only one that you have control is export. Even remittances is still Nigerians abroad who will decide they want to invest in Nigeria. Even for remittances, if they want to send money for their loved ones, someone called that welfare economics. Because it's just to support family and friends at home, not for business development. Now, I've dropped a link for this report in the chat. If you want to read the full report, you can check up in the chat. If you click on the link, you can download the report, the full report. It talked about banks. It talked about the export-friendly bank, but I didn't talk about that here because that was not my focus. My focus was to extract part of that report that speaks to the challenges we face in financing, challenges we face with the port, different challenges we face as far as export business is concerned in Nigeria. Before we close, I'll go on a short break. Before then, remember we have question and answer tomorrow, Export Discourse, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on TikTok. If you're here to get the Eureka Pack, it's currently selling. You can get soft copy on Seller, and you can get hard copy if you reach out to Ross on the number that will be on
Are
your
you a
screen.
professional or a businessman? Do you desire to earn dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You deserve to know what you need to do to get ready to go global. Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Built to Go Global. It's scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. You want professional.
All right. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Voice of African Trade, like, share, drop your comments, and remember to click on the notification bell so you know when we upload a new video. You want to get a link to this program every week? Join our Telegram channel, African Export Business Platform.
Are you tired of searching for buyers abroad for your agro-commodities? Well, now you have the power to do it yourself. Introducing the Eureka Pack, your ultimate solution for finding buyers abroad for your products. No more relying on others to help you connect with buyers for your manufactured goods or your authentic African foods. With the Eureka Pack, you can take control of your business. The Eureka Pack is a practical guide designed for both current and aspiring exporters, providing you with invaluable insights on how to attract buyers abroad. Just imagine all the information and strategies you need to succeed in the global market, conveniently packaged in one powerful resource. So, you must be wondering, how do you get your hands on the Eureka Pack? It's simple. Visit our website at www.3timpexglobal.com or call 0809 124 4449. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Get the Eureka Pack today and take your business to new heights. The Eureka Pack, empowering exporters to reach buyers worldwide.
You are retiring. Are you an employee looking forward to retirement? Are you an agro processor, a farmer, and a manufacturer of different items in Nigeria? Do you desire to earn foreign exchange in euro, dollars, and pounds? Are you interested in expanding your market beyond the shore of Nigeria? Are you looking for how to start doing export business? Do you have an order and looking for how to go about exporting your product abroad? Then I have great news for you. 3T Impex Trade Academy, in conjunction with American Institute of Extended Studies, brings to you from export novice to export legend. This is an export mentoring program that helps you step by step until you achieve your goal of doing a successful and sustainable export business. New enrollment is currently ongoing. The program costs $1,250 and there are flexible payment plans to fit your budget. Enroll today.
Are you struggling to find buyers abroad for your products or services? If so, this video is a game changer. In our pack, How to Find Buyers Abroad, we tackle these challenges by providing you with proven strategies to overcome limited reach, insider tips to establish valuable connections, and practical techniques to attract paying buyers from abroad. Now the gist. This pack currently goes for 60,000 naira. What is that? See, this is the only guide you need to attract paying buyers from abroad. Whether you are an importer looking for forex, an exporter or banker looking for export customers, and agri-processors, SMEs, manufacturers, and other businesses that want to sell abroad. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Call 08091244449 or visit www.3timpexglobal.com to place your order.
You're a professional or a businessman. Do you desire to earn in dollars, euros, or pounds? Have you thought of taking your business to the world? Does it look like a daunting task? You desire to know what you need to do to get ready to go global? Do you know that there is a science behind making your product or service to go global in a successful and sustainable manner? To learn more about it, get a copy of the book titled Built to Go Global. It's scientifically proven, tested, and trusted template for building a successful and sustainable export business. To pre-order a 33% discount, call 080-912-44449.
All right, thank you very much, everyone. See you tomorrow or next week. Have a great weekend and bye-bye.